All right, welcome back. Welcome, Young Men Podcast. April 6th, 2025. Things look a little bit different in here. Give it a wave, boys.
Jace has a different shirt on.
Jace does have a different shirt on. So Mr. Bryston adjusted our room just a little bit. We've kind of got a wide view. We're gonna work on what this looks like. 2 weeks without a podcast, technical difficulties 1 week, and then sickness and the above. So let's go to the young men on the other side of the table. Kenny, you want to lead us off? Anything exciting in the last 2 weeks you want to tell us about?
I'm in a boot.
You're in a boot, like Ariat, Red Wing.
No.
No,
Orthopedic.
an orthopedic boot. Well, that stinks.
Actually, I might have been in it the last episode.
I don't think you
know.
were in the boot. You were
No.
just kind of humbling around, and then they put you in the boot. Cruz, you're in something.
I broke my wrist.
Yeah, don't hit the stand, Cruz. We can see it. A broken wrist. Did you and Kenny break your wrist in the same sport?
Kenny's wrist is fine.
Or Kenny's ankle and your wrist?
Yes, in
Both
the same sport.
track and field related injuries.
Yes.
AJ?
I'm not injured.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and I went to the Reds opening day game.
That was a big item.
Yeah.
Did you get to march in it?
No.
No, we
but
were spectators.
We were in a suite with all you can eat food. Oh my gosh, it was so good. Yeah.
It was a good time. We met Orlando Brown Jr., the Cincinnati Bengals. He's a offensive lineman. That is a large man. It's not very often I stand
He made
next to
that look
someone and feel small, but Orlando Brown Jr. Did that. And Bryson, anything to report?
Nope.
Uh,
All good.
have you picked out your fit for your wedding?
No, I actually had to return one because it didn't fit right.
So your fit didn't
So-
fit?
Yeah, so I gotta look for a new fit.
What color fit?
Brown,
Brown?
dark brown.
Yellow.
Dark brown. And Jace, what do you have to report?
Man in the yellow hat.
I broke my big toe.
Broken big toe. There's not much a doctor can do about a broken big toe, is
No.
there? All right, let's jump into. That's just like I broke both of my big toes a couple times as a teenager, and yeah,
It's just an annoying pain.
the doctor says deal with it, brother.
Put ice on it.
That's about it. All right, let's go to Proverbs chapter number 3. A couple weeks ago, we read the first half of the chapter. Now we're going to read starting in chapter 19, and we're going to finish up Proverbs 3, and then each of us pick a verse. So, Cruz, you want to start us off, and we'll go anti-clockwise around the table?
Which way is anti-clockwise?
The opposite of a clock. So that'll mean Kenny will be next.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Cruz.
I start in 19, right?
You read 19, 20, and 21. We'll each read 3.
The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. By understanding he hath established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion.
So shall they be life unto thy soul and grace thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not be stumble. When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yeah, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet.
25, right?
Mm-hmm.
Spring break.
Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thine hand to do it.
Say not unto thy neighbors, go, and come again, and tomorrow I will give thee, when thou hast it by thee. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. Strive not with a man without cause, if he hath done thee no harm.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is an abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blessed the habitation of the just.
Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but but shame shall be the promotion of fools.
All right. That's all of it. Did anybody have a verse in there that they thought warranted? Anybody want to volunteer to go first? Did Jace, you say you had
Jace
one?
volunteered.
Yeah, if nobody else wanted to, because I went first last time.
All right. Anybody else want to go
Okay.
first?
I'll go first.
Cruz has one. All right, Cruz. Which
20
one? Where are we
24.
going? Verse 24. Let's find it. All right. Go for it.
When thou lie down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet.
All right, Cruz. Why did you pick that? When thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet.
Well, I originally picked it because Kenny mispronounced yea and said yeah, but then I read it a little more and I liked what was in it.
What did you like about it?
When things aren't in your control, just let go and don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what that would mean?
Well, I think somewhat. Anybody want to fill in info on what Cruz is saying there? Again, to put everything in context, what is the theme of Proverbs? Wisdom. Right? So we went back in this. Wisdom by the Lord, by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding he has established the heavens. And it's saying what happens when you have wisdom. When you lie down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Has anybody had a bad night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do you think we have? There's a variety of reasons why we might have a bad night's sleep. A week ago, I had a bad night's sleep because our audience member was making terrible noises for most of the evening. It was rough, right? We had a stomach bug go through the house. It fortunately was just Angie. But I've also had bad nights where nothing else is going on except what's going on between my ears. Thinking, whatever it may be.
In your brain. That's what it means.
You've heard the expression "sleep like a baby."
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's a ridiculous expression because babies don't sleep that good.
3 hours at a
Sleep
time.
like a rock is a much better expression.
But do babies stay awake because they're overthinking things? No.
They stay awake because they want something.
Do we occasionally stay awake because we overthink things?
Yeah.
Yes.
If we have the wisdom to allow God to be pervasive in our life, that should help us. Now, sometimes, I've had some of my best ideas come in the middle of the night. They occur to me. What are the things that are okay to think about at times like that?
Work.
No, I don't want to be that specific. If you're thinking about things that you can't control, is it healthy thought?
No.
I don't think so. I think you're right. I think if we're thinking about things that we can control, some of those are the stillest moments, and we can actually talk with God a little bit then. But if we're afraid when we sleep, especially the things that we can't control, we need to lean on the Lord there and seek his wisdom out. Cruz, who's next? Please, Cruz.
AJ.
Oh,
He just said.
he's just that way, isn't he? Can you believe that? All right, AJ, you're next. Kenny, what did he do to you? All right, AJ, where are you going?
I think 25, and then
26, 27, 28.
Pick one verse.
25.
25.
Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither the desolation of the wicked when it cometh.
Okay.
And then,
Nope. One verse. Why did you pick that?
because it's basically like the other one.
Lean up on your mic. Stay there.
You don't have to think about it or be afraid about it if you just remember that God's in control, and that He'll take care of it due time. Can I read 26?
Why?
Actually, never mind. You said one.
The world right now is a volatile place. It's always been something, though. There's always stuff going on, right? But if we as Christians are living in a state of constant fear about what's going on, Let's pick. So what's one of the big news items from this week?
Torpedo bats.
Torpedo bats. All right, yes. In the world of finance,
Oh, didn't the stock market drop
The
like
tariffs.
5 trillion or something like
tariffs.
that?
tariffs in the stock market are
34%.
it's way down. Am I losing a ton of sleep over that?
No.
There are people that there's trillions of dollars in valuation in the market that's just kind of disappeared as of late. Do we need to have fear over that?
No.
No.
Do we need to be happy that the world is in a state like that? I don't think I'm happy about it, but it's not something that is causing me conservation because I know that the Lord's in control, and in the end, it's going to work itself out, right? It's not something that as Christians we need to live in a state of fear. But I have lived in a state of fear if an election didn't go the way I wanted it to. Fearful? No. Concerned about the country? Yes. But fear, it's not something that the Lord says we need to do. All right, Kenny, where you at?
I'm at 34.
Verse 34. We'll get there. All right, what do you got, Kenny? Read it.
Surely he'll scorneth the scorners, but he'll giveth grace to the lowly.
All right.
He's gonna treat you how like you're treated. If you're scorning someone, he's not gonna treat you well. If you're like keep looking down on people, keep putting people down.
I'm curious what you think of as a scorner.
I don't even know what that means, if I'm being honest.
Well, try to put it in context. If you had a feel for it, you could. I think you got a feel for it. Is a scorner a positive or a negative?
It's negative.
I know what is.
What do you think a scorner is?
Scorner is someone telling everyone else that they're doing wrong or whatever.
A scorner is the embodiment of the type of person who says, well, actually...
Josie.
I don't know about... we won't pick any specific names from our families, but I think we can all think... Someone can come to mind anywhere when it's the type of person who is quick to need to correct or to be like, to scorn will return to them. I think if you look at you reap what you sow, right? He says that those type of people are going to get what's coming to them, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. Grace is an awesome thing. If you live your life through the Lord without the need to be the type of person that is ready to be like, told you so, you will receive grace. All right, Kenny, who's next? You got 3 on the other side of the table. Who are you picking on?
I'll go Bryson. He's pretty deep into his Bible.
Bryson's ready to roll. All right, don't forget to talk into the mic this time, Bryson. Are you ready? Which verse are you going to?
When did I not talk into the mic?
Well, I just saw it in your ear. Where are we going, Bryson? What verse would you like to choose?
I'll do 35.
He'll do 35.
The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools.
Why'd you pick this one, Bryce?
Because if you're listening to what God has to tell you and you are obeying him, you will inherit glory. But if you're following the path of the unrighteousness, and then it says your promotion will be shame. And
Cruz?
just like confusion.
If you're acting a fool, you will be shamed by God.
All right. Anybody else have anything to add to this? There are times where folks that I think that we would describe as foolish, it looks like much of what is happening is positive for them. But when it comes down to it, I think of you ever seen the circus people who spin plates on sticks?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know how they're moving the sticks, they're spinning the plates constantly, and it's here, and it looks like it's a frantic thing. I think if you're the type of person who's foolish and you're living totally and you're faking it through life, eventually the plates are going to fall because you only have 2 hands. But if you're wise, so even maybe immediately it's not obvious, but for sure in glory, your wisdom you're going to receive an investment from your wisdom. But if you're just trying to fake it through life without actually truly being wise, your foolishness will show itself. All right, Bryson, should we send it to Jace?
Let's go to you.
To me. All right, I got to remember which verse it was. I identified it pretty quick. Give me just a second. It's up here. Let's see. I didn't write this one down because... Well, I picked this one. I picked 23, mainly for Kenny. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. So if you've been in a house with young people, have you ever walked across the floor and stepped on a Lego?
Yes.
Right? A Lego on the floor is one of the most painful. And
With the buzzsaw ones.
yeah, you don't expect it. But you know what's even more interesting? Have you ever walked up a set of steps and found one step to be different?
Yep.
Yeah.
So at our work, it's actually the building where Brian works, our Woodlawn building. There's a whole flight of steps, and they're all the same, except for the top step is 1 inch taller than the rest. When you're going up those steps, so that top step at work has yellow tape on the front, and there's yellow, like caution colors everywhere. Why is that there?
To make you remember, hey, this step isn't like the others.
Not even just remember it, so that you look at it and you intentionally pick your foot up. That 1 inch, most people, when they go up a set of steps, it becomes, you're not thinking about the steps, right? But if that 1 inch, your foot goes up and people wipe out.
Have you seen it happen?
Yes. Or have you ever been going down steps
That's
and
even
maybe
worse.
it's at night or whatever it may be, and you think you have one more step, but you actually find yourself on the landing, because you think you've got a bit to go, and it's like, oh my gosh, and you get a sore back for your whatever it may be. But you stumble. Then thou shalt walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. If the floor is clear, if we straightened up, I could walk through my house with my eyes closed and the lights off and probably make it all the way to the sink and get water without needing to see anything. Why?
Because you're
'Cause you've done
familiar
it
with
100
it.
times.
I've done it a million times. I can guarantee I can make it from my bed to the bathroom for sure. I don't need to see anything. That's like muscle memory at this point while I'm still asleep. Why can my foot not stumble?
Because
'Cause
you
you've
know
done
the
it so
path.
many times.
It's just something that I can count on with 100% certainty. I know what's there. I don't need to see it. I know it's there. And wisdom in God is that. You're not going to take steps that stumble. You're not going to step on a rotten floorboard. You're not going to have something that falls away. You can do it with supreme confidence without even thinking about it. If you're leaning into wisdom. Jace, you're the last one, and we'll wrap it up. We got 2 minutes.
19 and 20.
Oh, he does too. Are we going to allow it, boys?
You know what I mean?
No.
All right, do it.
The Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew.
All right, Jace, why did you pick these two verses?
Just knowing that if he's wise enough to put the earth together or like make it rain, he can lead your life without error. Just knowing that he's wise enough to do that.
He dealt with all the details necessary to put the earth together. Have you guys ever had, who in this room has had an aquarium?
I
A
have.
small one, yeah.
Have
Yep.
you had a real aquarium?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bitty one.
You guys were probably too young to remember
No, I
when
remember
I
saltwater.
my saltwater
that was
aquarium.
With the
sweet.
starfish?
It had starfish and coral,
Anemone.
anemone. It was neat, wasn't
and
it?
Nemo.
Bryson, you ever done in a real aquarium?
No.
What it takes to keep a saltwater aquarium with aquatic life, corals, and plants alive is immense.
It's crazy.
The tests you have to do, the chemicals, you have to keep it in perfect balance. If the salinity raises too high, we were at church one day
Yeah.
for a function, and something was going on. Life was busy, and
Yeah.
I hadn't done anything with that aquarium in month or two maybe. What do you think, Angie? Something like it had been a little while. We came home from church, and the house smelled terrible.
I remember that.
They
And we're
all
like,
died.
what is that smell? We thought something was in the kitchen. It smelled like it was disgusting. And then I looked at the aquarium, and it looked like milk.
It crashed.
It absolutely crashed because some level got out of hand, and it just put everything out of balance, and life in that aquarium ended. And we haven't had a saltwater aquarium since.
That sucker was so cool though.
However, when we look at what God's done with creation, the levels are all there. What it takes for life to happen is so complex. Yet here we sit. The Lord hath founded the earth. Why would we think that he can't take care of the other stuff that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next week we're going to be in chapter number 4. Anybody have any parting thoughts before we leave? You got one, Bryce? All right, hit us with it.
Right there in 21, what does it mean to not let them depart from thine eyes?
I think that them that they're talking about there is wisdom.
Just okay.
If you look up, it uses, if you finish up verse 18, or the 16, 17, 18, her ways are pleasantness. 18, she is a tree of life to them that lay uphold them. And then the Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth. It's just it's the different things that we've talked about that represent wisdom. So he's saying keep wisdom don't let it out of your sight.
Okay.
And then you'll have sound wisdom and discretion. So I think he's just talking about the figures of wisdom there. All right, so chapter 4 next week from the book of Proverbs. Nobody else has anything sweet to say?
Nope.
Kenny, you want to give us a parting see you later, peace out, anything? You got anything?
Deuces.
Deuces.
Stay in school. Don't get a saltwater fish tank.
There you go.